It's official. Hillary Clinton's campaign thinks the election may have been, yes, rigged. But what difference at this point does it make? Can I use that quote?
Well played, sir.
Karl Rove has the answer. He joins us live just ahead. And what would Hillary Clinton say if maybe somebody decided to question, I don't know, the integrity of our elections?
Because that's horrifying. You know, every time Donald thinks things are not going in his direction, he claims whatever it is rigged against him.
Well, now she's not so horrified about challenging things. She lost, so now it's her campaign that's saying it might have been rigged. And moments ago, President-elect Trump went on Twitter, and boy, is he responding.
Indeed. And is there anything Mitt Romney can say to convince our next president that he should be Secretary of State?
I think there is nothing Mitt Romney can say that doesn't sound phony and, frankly, pathetic.
Whoa.
I could say that Newt Gingrich has a theory. He weighed in. He did. He weighed in earlier. He's going to weigh in some more. And we're glad that you are here. Grab a cup of coffee. Enjoy your Sunday with us, because mornings are better with friends. One of the tips, when you bring it home, you saw the bottom off so that you get the new absorbing of water.
Looks like a Charlie Brown tree. A little small, huh? I don't know. It's not, but they've got a great selection out there. They've been here all morning, and it's sort of crisp out there today. It feels like it's turned, like the Christmas.
I agree.
It's finally that season.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it. I like
Seemed like you were there a second ago.
I can smell the chestnuts roasting out on 6th Avenue.
Now you're just lying.
Yeah, now you're trying to say you feel the Christmas spirit. You didn't have the spirit. What's
don't have
going
to fake
on?
it. It's
Come
okay.
on.
God.
We want you to have the spirit.
These guys are tough.
Well, a lot of news this morning. Jill Stein and Hillary Clinton now say, well, the election may have been rigged, and they're demanding, yes, a recount.
They sure are. President-elect Donald Trump calling their efforts ridiculous and a scam.
Garrett Tenney is live in D.C. with more reaction. Garrett, what are we hearing?
Well, it's interesting, y'all. As you look at this, the campaigns of both Jill Stein and Hillary Clinton have said they have looked into every report of hacking or voting irregularities since the election, and they have found absolutely nothing to substantiate those reports. So while they don't believe there was anything amiss, they are now saying that they're simply calling for this recount to help reassure those who don't accept the results. Now, President-elect Trump responded last night, calling it a scam by the Green Party's Jill Stein to fill her coffers. And again this morning, he took to Twitter to criticize the recount effort, saying Hillary Clinton conceded the election when she called me just prior to the victory speech and after the results were in. Nothing will change. Even the Obama White House has said the election results are accurate and should be accepted by the rest of the country. But still, Stein, who received 1% of the national vote, is moving ahead and has already raised more than $5 million to fund this recount effort in Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, and Michigan. Donald Trump narrowly beat Hillary Clinton in all three states, but his margins of victory were large enough that it's extremely unlikely a recount would change the election result. And there's not a lot of time left for these recounts to take place either. The federal deadline to submit the results is in about 2 weeks on December 13th. Back to y'all.
That's right. Thanks, Garrett.
Interesting.
You know, and Donald Trump, as he can do with modern technology now, has 7 tweets this morning about that, making his side of the argument and pointing out that Hillary Clinton did say on election night to him, I accept the results of this election.
Yeah, and you know what might be relevant? Who are some of Jill Stein's heroes? Let me see. I was looking at Twitter. She said yesterday, Fidel Castro was a symbol of the struggle for justice.
Oh.
Motivated by Fidel
Friends of
Castro.
Fidel. Hashtag Friends of Fidel.
Dictator.
But it's hard to forget what Hillary said back during the election process when she was campaigning at the debates on the campaign trail. What she said about Donald Trump if he were to not accept the election results.
Much?
Here's one moment.
That's horrifying. You know, every time Donald thinks things are not going in his direction, he claims whatever it is rigged against him. That is not the way our democracy works.
Ooh, now she's going to tell us how it really works.
Well, when you're down by 70,000 votes in Pennsylvania and 22,000 in Wisconsin and 10,000 in Michigan, that's not how our democracy works either, to try to recount it.
And Newt Gingrich earlier on the show had some strong feelings. You heard one as we came in at the top of the 9 o'clock hour. But he had some really strong feelings on Hillary Clinton.
It was not just Mitt Romney that he was teeing off on.
Yeah, listen to this.
Look, if you were Secretary Clinton and you had spent 42 years of your life from the time you were a student when you worked for Joe Lieberman for state Senate, not U.S. Senate, 42 years, and you twice had thought you were going to be president, and you have to face Bill Clinton, who actually won, and you're going to have to think through, how do I explain that I'm a loser? You'll grasp at any straw. There's no straw too tiny for Hillary Clinton to grasp it. And it's sad. We're watching her live out a psychodrama in public. But the fact is she lost. She lost decisively. She lost according to the rules of the game. And at some point, she will gradually disappear to write her memoirs or do something else.
Ouch.
Did I mention he had some strong words?
Yeah, no straw too tiny. And this is a tiny straw. The prospects of this happening are zero.
And Newt Gingrich is right. I mean, Bill Clinton didn't just win once. He won twice. And Hillary Clinton lost twice. And I keep thinking back to that other clip of Hillary Clinton, remember, in the final days where he said, why aren't I 50 points ahead right now?
It was a good question to be asking, quite clearly.
I think she might ask herself. The other question that's being asked today, a lot of folks are looking to tomorrow when the Trump transition team resumes its efforts to identify members of the cabinet. As we've pointed out many times, not in disarray, but instead ahead of the pace of previous presidents. But a lot of folks are asking and speculating who it will be for Secretary of Defense, but also Secretary of State. Mitt Romney and Rudy Giuliani being mentioned. And a big question being asked today is, will Mitt Romney, would he apologize to Donald Trump for the many things that he said and did on the campaign trail? We asked that question of Speaker Gingrich this morning, and as he oftentimes does, he had a direct answer.
I think there is nothing Mitt Romney can say that doesn't sound phony and, frankly, pathetic. He made his case. He made his case all year. He did all he could to help cause Trump to lose Utah. He called Trump vicious and vile things. He described him in language that is not possibly compatible with being together. And the idea that now that Trump has won, that Mitt would suddenly decide to issue a mea culpa and say, oh, gee, all the vicious things I said about you when you were running, I didn't really mean. Well, he sure did mean them. And he sure did try to defeat Donald Trump. And I think speaking for most of the Trump supporters, while we will support President-elect Trump in whatever he does, I think we would be enormously disappointed if he brought Mitt Romney in any position of authority.
The former speaker came to play this morning. Let me tell you something. But let me turn to you on this, Ed, because you've been doing so much reporting. We had you on the Kelly Fallon Friday night. You said Mitt Romney, according to your sources, is still very much in play as far as the pick here. But it's not just him and Giuliani anymore. The door's been open to others.
I've got another piece of information, which is I'm told from a senior official that Mitt Romney has been on the phone, not just with the president-elect in recent days, but with Vice President-elect Mike Pence as well. And that's, remember Mike Pence came out when they were at the New Jersey golf course, and he did a couple interviews. I think he did one with Chris Wallace, and he said that, Mitt Romney was sort of a leading contender here, and a lot of people said, whoa, he's, it's not just several people. I think the fact that Pence is involved, he's running the transition, he's on the phone with Romney, I assume they're talking to Giuliani and others as well. But that tells me that despite what has really been a backlash, not just from outside conservatives, but as you were saying earlier, Kellyanne Conway, the campaign manager, was on Twitter on Thanksgiving Day raising questions about Mitt Romney's loyalty. Nonetheless, she's not in charge.
So it's fair to say there is division.
The president-elect is in charge.
The transition.
Of course, but division that it's clear who is in charge, and it's Donald Trump.
Exactly.
And if he wanted to shut this down, he could. This is a confident guy who's going through a process, and Newt Gingrich said it very well. He said, others will say he's being indecisive. Well, maybe he's being patient and deliberate and consulting with people across the spectrum to get a sense who is really the best person to be my Secretary of State.
And he's ahead of other transitions with other positions, so it's not like he has to pick Secretary of State today, make the right choice. And obviously, Newt Gingrich also, what we didn't play is he then went on and made a strong case for Rudy Giuliani. It's clear that folks like Gingrich and Mike Huckabee and other loyalists of Donald Trump, they want Giuliani.
And then as we showed you at the top of the 6 o'clock hour this morning, he's got a long list of big names meeting with him at Trump Tower yesterday.
Absolutely.
This transition
process on
Monday, continues.
Indeed.
All right, well, now to your headlines this morning, starting with the Fox News alert. A hail of gunfire erupts on New Orleans' iconic Bourbon Street, sending hundreds of partiers running for their lives. One person is dead and 9 others are hurt. Police arriving at a chaotic scene packed with